After 1949, Zhongnanhai has become the most important place for Chinese people because everything that happens in China can be traced back to this place. For 71 years, the stories that happens here continues without ending. Today I want to tell you the story of horrible assassinations against the leaders of the Chinese Communist Party. Before today's show starts, please take 2 seconds to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Your support is a great motivation for us to continue to do a great show. Many people probably remember the murder of Kim Jong-nam, the half-brother of North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un, who was poisoned at a Malaysian airport more than 4 years ago. Although the murderer has not been identified yet, those who are familiar with the communist regimes knows that the case is never simple and political struggles must have been involved. In fact, similar assassinations did not happen only in North Korea, but also in Soviet Union, China, and other communist regimes. In general, these assassinations belong to the following 3 categories. 1. Agents of hostile forces. 2. Enemies from within the party involving political struggles within the party. And 3. Enemies made from public and private reasons. The latter 2 categories are supposedly the majority, that is to say, similar assassinations mainly occurred within the party itself. The Chinese Communist Party in Beijing has carried out assassinations against top party officials long before the establishment of the regime in 1949, such as the assassination of the early Chinese Communist leader, Hu Jintao and his family, organized by Zhou Enlai, and the assassination of Wang Ruofei, Ye Ting, etc. However, the more frequent assassinations occurred after the establishment of the CCP. Some of them were successful. In April 2013, Hong Kong's Dong Xiang magazine revealed that before the March meeting of the Communist Party's National People's Congress, Chinese President Hu Jintao, who was about to retire, has twice exercised his presidential authority to sign presidential decrees unsealing 5 files listed as confidential and proliferation proof. One of them was titled, "Unsealing the files on the incidents of armed and violent attacks, assaults and assassinations on the Communist Party, government and military state organs, camps, and their public officials from October 1, 1949 to the end of December 1982. If the CCP further releases the relevant files from 1983 to 2021, similar incidents won't occur less than the published numbers." According to some of the files unsealed, during the 33-year period between 1949 to 1982, there were 3,447 cases of armed violent attacks and assaults on the Chinese Communist Party, government, military, and state organs and departments. The following are deaths from attacks and assassinations of leading cadres of the Communist Party, government, military, and state organs. 35 at the provincial, ministry, and military level, 216 at the local department and division level, and 1,645 at county and regiment level. In addition, armed attacks and assassinations against the party and military leaders are as follows. Against Mao Zedong, 35 cases, Liu Shaoqi, 12 cases, Zhou Enlai, 17 cases, Zhou De, 9 cases, Lin Biao, 8 cases, Deng Xiaoping, 11 cases, Song Qingling, 4 cases, Hua Guofeng, 3 cases, Hu Yaobang, 2 cases, Wan Li, 2 cases, Yang Shangkun, 3 cases, and etc. According to the report, violent attacks, assaults, and assassinations mainly occur during inspection visits, at large gatherings and public events, in vehicles on the way, in guest houses or hotels, etc. Because there are so many assassinations, we only chose those involving political battles within the Communist Party. The declassified files revealed the story of 7 attacks and assassinations on Deng Xiaoping. Here are the details. In October 1969, while being deported to an abandoned infantry school in Wangchenggang, Xinjian in Jiangxi province, Deng Xiaoping was shot by armed militiamen who broke in. The guards immediately fought back and killed the militia. At that time, it was alleged that it was Lin Biao that instructed the Jiangxi military region to do this, but it was later confirmed that Lin Biao did not plan or instruct this. On February 20, 1973, the General Office of the CPC Central Committee sent a Soviet-made Il-14 plane to pick up Deng Xiaoping and fly him from Jiangxi back to Beijing to wait for his assignment. However, the Jiangxi Military District received an urgent notice to arrange a train for Deng's return instead of the plane. Deng then returned on the train with a group of guards led by the Chief of Staff of the Jiangxi Military District. In the end, the Il-14 plane exploded and disintegrated over Anhui on its way back to Beijing. In September 1975, Deng Xiaoping, Hua Guofeng, Jiang Qing and others went to Shanxi to host a meeting. Deng Xiaoping was walking on the hillside in the evening when someone suddenly fired at him. The guards fired back, but the assassin escaped and disappeared. In April 1976, Deng Xiaoping, who had again been removed from all positions of power, was placed under house arrest on the first floor of the Yuquan Shan guest house in Beijing Military Region. One night, the place where he was under house arrest suddenly caught fire due to a short circuit, and all the rooms on the first floor were burned down. However, Deng managed to escape because he happened to be taking a shower at that time. In July of the same year, Deng Xiaoping was notified that he was scheduled to go to the Chengde Summer Resort in Hebei Province to escape from the hot summer. However, Deng Xiaoping claimed that he needed to go to the hospital for health reasons and did not go to Chengde. Later, the Japanese vehicle that Deng was scheduled to take was sent to the Ministry of National Defense. After inspection, people found that the front wheel axle was broken. If the vehicle is driven on the highway, it can roll over and burn at any time. In March 1980, when Deng Xiaoping inspected troops in Jinan Military Region, a guard on duty at the venue shouted, "Defend Chairman Mao's revolutionary line, defeat Deng Xiaoping, and avenge for Jiang Zhuyue." While shouting, he fired multiple shots at Deng's seat. Deng was shielded by guards around him and avoided the bullets. In February 1988, Deng Xiaoping and others were spending New Year's Eve together at the Xijiao Hotel in Shanghai. 4 armed men claiming to be the Maoist combat team infiltrated the hotel and exchanged fire with the armed police on duty. 3 of them were killed on the spot and 1 was arrested. A map of Deng Xiaoping's residence, a powerful explosive, a silent pistol, and arson equipment for assassination were found with them. Deng Xiaoping encountered several assassination operations, although there are no solid evidence, but most of the employers of these assassins are likely political enemies from within the party. Otherwise, how can Deng Xiaoping's whereabouts to be known so easily? It is said that these assassinations were all related to Mao Zedong. Mao spent his whole life thinking about how to murder other people to control power. He killed his close comrades, Lin Biao, Liu Shaoqi, and Zhou Enlai. He was also worried about Deng Xiaoping, because he felt that Deng and himself were not on the same wavelength. It is reported that before Mao died, he said that Deng Xiaoping has a stable network and power in the party and in society. Struggles against Deng should continue and cannot be taken too lightly. If one day Deng stands out, then eliminate him completely. Let him go to see Liu Shaoqi and Zhou Enlai in their graves. Let's take a look at the former president of the Chinese Communist Party, Yang Shangkun, who was assassinated in 1998. Yang was sent to the 301 hospital in Beijing for a cold, but he died soon after his hospitalization. It was widely suspected that his death was due to Jiang Zemin messing with the medical treatment in the hospital, because Jiang had malice against Yang's family all the time since Yang was not friendly to him. By the time of CCP leader Hu Jintao and Xi Jinping, the mastermind behind many assassinations should have come from their enemy, the Jiang Zemin political faction. Hu Jintao had survived 3 assassination attempts during his time in office. One day in early May 2006, while inspecting the North Sea Fleet in the Yellow Sea as the chairman of the military commission, Hu Jintao's ship was suddenly attacked by 2 Chinese warships, but Hu survived. It is said that the order was given by Zhang Dingfa, the commander of the navy and a close associate of Jiang Zemin's political faction. The real person who gave the order was undoubtedly Jiang Zemin himself. It is reported that a few months after the incident, Zhang Dingfa died in a Beijing hospital. In October 2007, Hu Jintao attended the opening ceremony of the Special Olympics in Shanghai. In the underground garage of Hu's hotel in Shanghai, his security department found 2.5 kilograms of powerful explosive with a timer, hidden under the driver's cushion of a food truck. Some analysts say that the mastermind behind this plot was Jiang Zemin's close comrade. In April 2009, Jiang's faction attempted to create the Yellow Sea assassination again in Qingdao, but was detected by Hu Jintao. The current CCP leader Xi Jinping also encountered lots of assassination attempts. On February 6, 2012, Wang Lijun escaped to the U.S. consulate and unveiled a plot that was led by Jiang Zemin, planned by Zheng Qinghong, and carried out by Zhou Yongkang. With the power of the Central Committee of the Political and Legal Affairs Commission, they united Jiang's military forces to remove Xi Jinping from his position, at the same time pushing Bo Xilai to the top of the party to avoid accountability for the persecution of Falun Gong. After Xi Jinping came to power at the 18th Communist Party Congress, he took down many senior officials in Jiang's faction in the name of anti-corruption. Xi's political faction and Jiang's political faction played an unprecedentedly fierce game. Until now, their political struggles have not ended. During this period, Xi Jinping was subjected to assassination attempts several times, and the masterminds behind the assassinations included Zhou Yongkang and Zheng Qinghong. People from within the party disclosed that from the day Xi Jinping became the party leader to early July 2014, more than 16 security warnings were issued by the CCP's security department. For example, Xi Jinping was shot at during a visit to Shijiazhuang, Hebei, in September 2012, but the assassin was not found. Before and after the Communist Party's Beidaihe meeting in 2013, someone planted a timed bomb in the conference room. Another time, someone tried to poison Xi with a needle while he was having a medical checkup at the 301 hospital. Xi Jinping also got in dangerous situations during his visits to Zhengzhou, Wuhan, Fuzhou, Jinan, Qingdao, and other major cities. What is even more frightening is that these assassination tactics have been extended to those who knew too much, such as Lieutenant General Pi Jingjun, the commander of the Fuzhou military region. On Zhu De's funeral, Pi Jingjun noticed that strangely, Zhu De's face turned black. Later on his way back, he was found dead on the plane with his hands turning black as well. Not only this, these assassinations have also been extended to the leaders' families, such as the assassination of Wu Guanzheng's eldest son, Wu Shaohua, in Qingdao. Hu Jintao's son, Hu Haifeng, was also targeted for assassination. Obviously, assassinations have become one of the main ways of eliminating dissidents and political opponents in the Communist Party struggles. Then why are there more assassinations in communist countries? This is related to their lust for violence, because all communist countries need to rely on violence to maintain their rule and to suppress forces of resistance. There's no doubt that because of the non-transparent politics in Communist Party and the violent struggles and assassinations that accompany its internal conflicts, Communist Party leaders and many officials live in constant fear, especially in today's China. Many officials, including those at the top, fear that one day they will be killed at gunpoint. This is probably one of the reasons why they are struggling to flee and place their relatives aboard. The only way to put an end to such fears, which the CCP leaders know very well, is to follow the example of the Soviet Union and the Eastern European Communist countries and dismantle the CCP completely. In other words, until the Communist Party falls, such tactics of assassination will never end. Thank you for watching today's episode of Zoom in China. You are welcome to leave your comments down below in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.